keyboard for PC, or down on the D-pad for your controller to open the quick menu. Here you can select recharge and select the system that you need to recharge. In this case, like I said, it's your hazard protection system, and do it really quickly. This is actually really useful to know when you're in a pinch. Say for example, you're being attacked or your suit's about to run out and there's a storm coming. This is the fastest way to do it without going and faffing about in your inventory. So just remember that for later. And since you're covering a lot of ground here, there's another big tip here that I want to give you guys that only pros will know. It's melee boosting. Now, in order to do this, you're going to want to sprint forward by holding Shift or L3 on the controller, and then melee using Q on PC or right bumper on your controller, and then immediately afterward hit spacebar or A cross to use jetpack. If you've done all of this right, you can pause the video for a moment if you need to. I'm doing both PC and controller. I know it can be somewhat confusing, but basically you're sprinting, melee, boosting all at once to get yourself a huge boost forward, which will propel you across the landscape at insane speeds. Just make sure that you save enough booster to stop yourself from splattering against the ground. There is gravity on most of these planets. Now, once you've got all the basics of survival squared away, the tutorial is going to lead you to your very first starship. And you might be really excited, but you're going to find out soon that it's actually on fire, like your feet are and everything else is. The good news is that fixing it's going to teach you the basics of crafting and ship repair, so going through this guide is actually very important if you've forgotten everything or you're new to this. So to continue forward, open your inventory, tab on PC or options/menu on your controller, and click on an empty slot in your suit inventory to craft the needed parts. Early on, that means a hermetic seal and metal plating, but you won't be able to craft the seal just yet because you won't have the blueprints for it, but metal plating should be available to you right away if you've gathered enough ferrite. The game will guide you to the other missing pieces eventually. Now, at this point in the guide, you probably will have run into a bit of a weather problem. Like I said, this is a harsh planet, so you're going to want to find a place to hide for a little bit if a storm rolls over. If you stay exposed during this time, you're going to have to recharge your hazard suit much more quickly, and if it's a really bad storm, you might not be able to recharge it in time, and eventually you're going to die. So you can either keep recharging it if you've got enough sodium, or you can find a place for shelter. Usually these come in the form of caves or even buildings, and if you're close enough to your ship, you can jump back into your cockpit. However, later on when you get the terrain manipulator, you can carve out your own bunker in the ground, which is a great place to hide, not just from storms, but also from things like aggressive animals and later sentinels. But don't anger those guys just yet. It'll mess you up pretty bad without a weapon. You shouldn't have a weapon just yet. The game should then send you off in another direction to get your analysis visor up and running. You're going to have to do that by finding carbon, which comes from plants mostly, which you can turn into nanotubes, which is what you need to craft your visor. With it installed, the game changes dramatically. You're going to be able to start spotting hidden caches, artifacts, buried technology, and more importantly, it becomes a steady source of income. Something the game doesn't tell you is that scans actually earn you units, and uploading discoveries earn you nanites. These are the two most important currencies in the game, at least early on, for you to make your character more powerful and allow you to travel the galaxy more easily. And pro tip here, if you scan before you mine, you should get more resources out of what you're mining, so if you're mining something that's not been fully scanned yet, make sure you do that first. Now, since you're going to be trekking across the landscape, you want to be using your scanner for what the guide tells you, but also keep an eye out for something called buried technology modules. These contain salvage data, which you can use to sell for quick units or to trade for blueprints. You'll usually also see some flaming wreckage nearby, which can be used to get some extra nanites, so keep your eyes open for that at all times. Nanites are more valuable than money actually early on because you use them to buy upgrade modules, things that make scanning faster, your jetpack stronger, or your weapons more effective, and ultimately it makes it so you earn money more quickly. So that's why I think nanites are actually more important, because you get the money better more quickly with more upgrades. Another pro tip here, wreckage often has slime blocking it. Don't delete it. Instead, drag it into your inventory, and later when we make the portable refiner, you can craft these into nanites. It's one of the easiest ways early on to farm nanites up much more quickly. If you don't want to keep it though, you can just hold your middle mouse button on PC or R3 on your controller to discard it and free up some space. You'll also often run into something called knowledge stones, which are, depending on the solar system affiliation, going to teach you a word in the language of the local faction.
Yes. Are you tired of dealing with your super annoying chat on Twitch? Not particularly, I really like my chat.
Yes.
Do you want to just poof away after telling your chat a fantastic day? My name is DC Files on my Discord. Tutorial is here to do just that.